is Russell Scott at scottcarvings.com, and what I'm going to carve today is one of my rough outs, the Plum Pudding Santa rough out. And this is going to be an abridged version. I'll tell you why, because what happened is I got started on one, and I thought, no, let's make a video out of that, because this is going to be a little change up. First, let me bring this back. Here's what we do. With if you haven't seen any of my other rough out and rough out videos, is that what we do is, number one, first thing you do is you take your pencil and you start penciling in the creases, right? All where the hand is, and you pencil all of that in. You even pencil in this pocket here. You pencil everything, all the creases in there, and you take your V tool and you cut those creases out. And then you go into the process of taking the bit marks off, or as I call the fur. So instead of wasting my time and your time on just showing you how to clean a rough out, I got started on another one. But let's bring this back. I want to explain something. Now, one of the things, the features of this is he's holding up a cake, a plum pudding. Whatever, I wanted to say whatever you would want it to be. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same thing all the way around. One of the things that I keep telling wood carvers who use this, this is kind of a lie for an example of telling you have your choice. Plum pudding, no frosting with a flame. Or plum pudding, frosting, no flame. And the reason why is if you try to put a flame on frosting, well, that would become a mess. And I am just absolutely shocked and surprised at how many. And if you want to, wood carvers look at it and say, oh, I want to carve it exactly like that. Well, all right. Because one of the good things is that if you have this on your mantle or whatever, it's a good conversation starter. If somebody can see that, they get the, especially if this is a Christmas holiday with the family, and the first one who notices that gets the extra prize or treat or whatever. Anyways, another thing about this is you can have anything you want on here. I've even made one of those in which I had to put spam. Somebody wanted, and then I had the blue with the yellow spam letters on there. I've had one with a stack of pancakes, tall stack of pancakes. And what I did in order to do that, and like I said, I got started with one. I did take all the fur, most of the fur off, and I'll talk about other things. And what I did is I'm going to use this guy here, and I took the bandsaw and I cut that off. And so I'm going to come up with my own plate and my own whatever. And that's what I wanted to bring this out, because this is so interchangeable. I don't know if that's the best way. One of the things that is going to be much easier doing when we get to the eyes and not having this in the way. But again, you can just simply take what is missing here. Oops, sorry. Is you will be taking your pencil, your V tool, thinning this out a little bit, and just carve the plum pudding, and the flame is just right there. I mean, there's nothing to it. And the hand, there's nothing to it. When you get over here, I want you to understand there is a thumb. Because there's the thumb right there. That's where this is. And I left that here. So it is up to you. And that's why I thought I'd rather do the video showing you the interchangeability of this wood carving. And I'm going to do the same with others where you could do different things with it and still. I'm going to explain the knot. In fact, I'm going to go through it. I'm going to pretend like I haven't done this, with the exception of cutting this off and taking most of that fur off of there. And like I've mentioned before, every time I would see one of my roughouts that has some bad anomaly, I will carve with it. I'll show you how I did that knot. In fact, I'll even take another piece of wood and show you how to do that so you don't be, cheated. Other than that, there is nothing here. I'll talk about, I just got that thumb up. Because there's a thumb, he's saying that's a A1 cake. And that's why you want to be careful here is you draw that thumb in there first. And it is okay for that thumb to interfere. It's got to come in an angle like this. And it's okay for that thumb to interfere with the beard. The beard is imperfect because it can push against the beard. Like I did here, because as a matter of fact, I'm going to go a little even deeper. So, like I said, if you just had purchased this, this is the time to shut the video off, because it is, in fact, all of the other videos that I've been doing my roughouts, I kind of feel guilty. It's like, you guys aren't smart enough to take a knife, take a chisel. Or if you want to, you can look at my other videos in which I do have start from rough out. But here I want to get right to it. We got the face, which is good, and everything else is just what I did was I may end up rounding this off some more. Yeah, the only thing is like I said, that I thought, oops, I did the tie in the back, but I'll get a piece of wood and I'll show you how I did that. And I might go over some of these things again, make sure all of the fur is off of there. Now this is of course the top is, of course, it's you're going against the grain, which is going to be a pain in the you know what, because there's a lot of top up there and I hate to drag there. I want to cut. And then I come down here. Let's leave this here as an example. You see the router bit just didn't get in there, and we're going to do, and what you want to do is you get your V in there, nice V in there. And even then, what you want to end up doing, we'll talk about that too, is I want to get some undercutting done so you can see some shade. And then we'll do, I just maybe started on the bottom of the hat, but we'll be doing more of the hat, more of everything else. Now, a particular person wanted this piece. Well, this is a bad piece here. This is one of those where it's very chippy here. We'll be running into that because I'm going to make that a little thinner. What we want to do, what I've mentioned before I get into this, is I want to make sure that this arm is perfect, hand and everything, is that I always take the smallest hand or whatever, foot or whatever, and I go right straight to that and fix that and make that look good. Then alter the bigger foot or hand or arm to fit the smaller one. And so you can see we got a lot of wood. And that's without adjusting this and making sure this is perfect as I want. So we got a lot of wood here to play with. That's the same with your rough out. You got a lot of wood to play with there. How thin you want the arm. Oh, I suggest here's of course the most difficult part of this rough out is that you want to, when you V, here's your V, get close to the beard And if any worst case, you want to take from the beard and not from the plate. Plate is solid. The beard can be pushed in. You could, and I've done this several times when I've carved this at home and not at a class, is turn that saw on and you probably just at least to get it started so you can see daylight, and then you can smooth that around. Same with this here is get that drill out. Did I do that to this? Oh yeah, I did. Yeah, you can see there's an example of the drill. I have not cleaned it. I just got, that looks like 2 holes of 1/4 of an inch. And so I am going to, you can turn the computer off, the television off, or computer, the video off. I think what I will do is starting on the foot, because what I like to do is I like to start in on the bottom. This is going to be stage 2. The first stage is cleaning the rough, and you don't want to do too much detail except like right here. Where is my number? And you do that to your rough out. I just did a V, just enough. What I did was just enough to make sure that I leave that in there. And then if you use a round tool, like this is a 5 mil for a 11, then you take your knife and just take this part out of there. And same with the other side. Again, I'll talk more about that. Getting that foot. See, we got this foot here. Like I said, I got it started and I thought, wait a minute, I'll do the video on this. And because, I mean, that's all I did is I just got the fur off, mostly. And a little bit of shaping. And then I wanted to cut this off. Now, somebody wanted a cake, and I thought what I could do is, if I'm in the mood, is to make this thing, in other words, like a cake. Now, I don't think I need to do a Spam. What I did with the Spam is, if you've ever had Spam, is you take it out of the can, and it's kind of can shape. And then Spam down here. Oh, goodness, some of the others is, if you're Scandinavian, you got some krumkakas on there, and other kinds of Norwegian treats. And another one is put the rolls there. Or the other thing too is you can, like I was talking about Spam, you can have a big pork chop dinner right there, or whatever your favorite meal is, or whoever you're carving this to. If you're carving this to one of your little kids, you probably have just a whole stack of candy or whatever. Pie. Get some pie in there, nice white pie. Like I said, I have a stack of pancakes I've done. And that just is a cylinder, you kind of cylinder, and you just put lines, and then you put the dents in, and maybe a little bit, we might do it where a little bit where this pancake is over here and that pancake is over there, kind of a thing. But let's get started. Put him out of the way. I'll use him as a reference. Like I said, I'll start at the bottom and work my way. Hey, coming back. Like I said, I'm going to start with the bottom on up, and I just had noticed this, and I just want to write this in there so I don't forget. That's the separation there. Let's continue. Now I want to start. I'll start way at the bottom. I did look like I did start to clean this up a little bit. Depends on what direction it goes. Now this is going to be his, I have, and I'm going to do it again, is that he's on a plank, or floor rather, and it's made out of wood, and I'm going to, I think I already got this cleaned up, relatively sort of. Now the fact that that knot is in there will look good with the wood. So, and now I want to give this a little extra, just a little bit, roundness here. So it's not, same with here, because we're going to finish, we're going to make it work, but work with it later as far as details. But I like to take that sharpness off so it don't. Let's see how we're going like this. It goes from the bottom up. Watch it. It goes this way. I notice that some of this is not perfect. Next is, well, here, while we're at it, while we're doing the top of the floor, let's put this in so when we get going, I don't have to stop and pencil anything in. Well, I will be when I'm doing the floor, of course, but again, let's get our good chisel, V-chisel, I'm sorry. Get that in there. I hate that banging. It should be smooth, but the way that this angle, and I got this arm in the way here. Oh no, whereas I got no excuse for this. There, that's a little better. Watch the hand. Get some of that, use that flat. Getting some of that out of there. Some of it. Now it looks like I already got started over here. But didn't start this. Okay. Where is my, here he is, my little drake. Do a little cutting as I'm pressing, in other words. Chisel, a V-tool, I'm sorry. Chisel. Which one? Gotta get up in there. Let's see if a knife will work better here. At this point, it will work better at this area. Let's bring it in. Is it still gonna work for us? Oh, we gotta be careful. I don't want to see daylight here because that's where the apron is. Apron's in front of that. Then let's take this off and let's get some more heavy stuff here. Let's see, will that help, or just at least get this crap out of the way. crap out of the way. What about the next one down? Does this one help? Not really, not much. Aha. Number 5, or number 11.5, pardon me. It's a little smaller. Will that help? That isn't that much smaller. Just keep. Well, I suppose here, I'll chip this away then. Now we're getting there. Breaking through. A little bit of shaping along the way. Then we want. Let's get back with my number 5 again this way. Okay. Still taking some of that crap out of there. Get my drake in there, will that help? Get my V in there. I think we're getting there. Just, I got a little bit of this right here. I think it's from the drill bit. Just a little bit of it. Nice little V cut here. Because it's going to get to a point where this does not have to be too perfect. Especially when you're closer to the top. Or it's top of the bottom. Because it'll kind of hide by itself. More up here. Oh, my little number 10, there he is. If it looks pretty decent, I'm going to stop, because I'll have to stop here, because it's right at the apron there. Smooth this out. And there we go. And I do want to move on because I got a lot of cleaning to do, yes. Brush. There's my brush. Oh, there he is. Okay, I'm just gonna move on because I want to we'll get back to this later on when it comes to cleaning up and stuff. Okay, I'll start with the boards here. just put it as I got here. Come on, get over here, don't hurt yourself. I'm gonna pencil this in all the way through. Now you can use a ruler, but if you go in via eyeing it, gives it an extra, that's not too mechanical. You don't want it to go too sloppy, but okay. The front, now the sides are going to be like this. Like about the same distance of the board, or thickness of that board is here. Is here. Now here's going to be the issue here is half. I'm going to do like half. Again, you can take your ruler. The fact that it's not right, or it's not perfect is good. Then I want to half that, turn it around, half that, and then half of this. But this is going to keep going. It's going to meet that line even though the shoe is in the way. Same with on this side. You'll meet this even though the shoe's in the way. Okay, Veek tool. Get that out of there. And I'm going to go away from the top board. In other words, the fin is up. This is going to be a little difficult. I think it's going to travel. See, that's like a nice smooth one shot. That's when it gets away from you. Like that one did. See, it's kind of interesting, even if you did use a ruler. And now, when I do this, it went off track a little bit. Same with here. It's going to go that way. Here. 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 Now here comes the fun part. Oh, we have to do this too. Sorry about that. Because these are separate boards. Oops. Flip it over. Oops, sorry, got to do this, this, and this. There. Now, let's start with the back. First to get the hang of it, I'd rather do the back, just in case if I goof up. And I just want to put a little bit of under, so in other words, that board on top is coming over. Or you can also go ahead where it goes, this board at the bottom goes over. You can do that too. Oops, careful. Okay, now that that's over, And I'll do this too on this side. So now I'm going to take care of a board at a time here. Do it like 10 degrees one way, 10 degrees back the other way. That didn't come out right. I'll do this again. Okay. Same with on this side. Like I said, because what we're going to do is we're going to warp that board. You can warp it any way you want. We'll warp it a little bit this way. So it's not perfect. Okay. And then I want it to warp more this way, so I'm going to take more out. So it looks like it's warping out. So let's do the other side. Maybe that's what you want to do. Let's have a little bit of this board warped a little bit. And I want some nice shadow when I do that. Again, come back in for details later. Let's have it so it comes down over this way. It warps this way. And see, I'm just starting to put kind of some warpage, personality, whatever you want. A little bit of twist this way. Now in here, I'm going to have this a little easier. Get out of there. Come across here. Let's go about 20 degrees one way, 20 degrees back. Okay, now can we warp this board? Because we're going to have this one like crashing in. And this one kind of warp a little bit this way. Okay, does that pencil mark? Oh, whatever it is. So he's warped. This side, let's go 20 degrees this side. 20 degrees this side. On this, 20 degree on this, like we have him like this, we can have him out. So in other words, to take a little out of this one, maybe a little out of this one to make it look like it's out more. It's bending out. Now another thing you can do is one side could be different than the other. That was the other thing too, is maybe not out, but like this. I'm just doing a kind of a quickie. I mean, some of them you can really get into it, but here, at least, same with now the bottom of the bottom. And of course that is with the detail, because right now I just like to move on. And we'll come back to that all later, except I'm going to make sure this is in there. I missed that one. Now, let's get the boot going here. Let's get the... I'll put on one. This one. Get out of there. Okay, now I want to start taking the marks off this. Now before I do anything else, where's my number 5? Number 11, 5, and I want to put a little bit of dent, not only here, you know what? Ow, I gotta put my cuticle glove on here. Take some of the sting when you wallop your fingernails, your finger tips. And I want this to be kind of a little more rounded here. So I might as well do it before I take the fur off. Do it while taking the fur off. Okay. What about the other side? Now the other side needs a lot more. I think I need to get it started. At the same time, same thing. Rounding and cleaning at the same time. Where's my 5 mil? Where did I put in the 5 mil? There he is. Number 11, 5 mil. Let's use this to clean some stuff because this leg is supposed to be farther back. It is. Let's see if I can use this to help with some others here. Will that help me? So now this is a number 9. The difference is the number 9, the fins aren't up as high. The sides. See, what else do I have that I can, I guess the number 11 5 mil is the only one I can do this, or that I have that can do this. Keep pulling that back, keep pushing it back, way back. The more I can get that in there, the more I can get this in there. No, I can't, not yet. Oh, do I have somebody else that'll help out here? What will this do? No, he's too wide. It's back to this guy. Nope. I said I wanted to round this like I did here. Let me get started with my 5 mil, number 11. Oh, I just can't get in there with this. Would a little bit of knifing help? Oh, here, no, let's start with the number. My Drake, where's my Drake again? While we're at it, I'll do the rest. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. This is the hardest part. Basically, one of the hardest parts. There's none on this side. Get my little minor 5. Get that started. Oops. Okay. Get my knife. Do some cleanup here. Get some of it. There's on the outside. It's a matter of digging these things out. Where'd my V go? That him right there. And what I'm going to do is, at least I got this all working, and probably more detail. Well, one of the details I wanted to do with this leg, with the leg, is that the pants leg pencil. Oh, there. It's going to come around like this. Doing it there. Then I'm going to take my knife, or any other chisel you'd prefer. Gotta get there back a bit. Now let's get a little bit of shadow in there. Almost like as if it's two pieces, the top and the bottom. It's a nice shadow there. And again. Cut there, 10 by 10, 10 degrees by 10 degrees. Careful with the prying. Okay, then we're going to have, now we're going to do the legs a little bit. I'm going to move on. I'll do the other leg later. Now the reason why I want to get the legs going here, in other words, get the fur off of there, is because I want to put in some dents. Pencil marks off. Okay, what I want to do is I want to start with my chisel, put some folds here, get out of there. I'm going to take my knife, just get that pencil mark out of there. Maybe a little more deeper, almost like I did that with the knife instead of the chisel. And again, it's going to be later on with the detailing, because like I said, I just want to move on to the next here. We did the bottom. Let's move on. Okay, I carved the apron. Now the apron, first let's get it clean as possible here. And what I'm going to do with the apron. Because, okay, it's about clean as I can, relatively. Because then I want to take and make it imperfect. Well, before we do that, remember I want to take this off. Let's do this first. Just to get the flakes off in there. Now the V, the top pocket here, what I want to do is, if we can, we were talking about that, adding shadow, we want to do that here. Just a little undercut. Like it's saying that it's open a little bit, so it gives them more realistic ism. Same with on the other side. Clean the side. Take my round. Excuse me. I think I made too much of a mess here. V-tool. Now, I'm not sure I'm going to be able to get into there. Let's see if I can. Here's my number 11 again. 3 mil. If I do something like that, that adds to it. There we go. That's adding to it. Okay. Now, like I said, I want to imperfect this a bit by putting some wrinkles in, or some waves. Oh boy. Where's my number? My larger 11. Where's my number? Here we go, larger 11. So as you get closer, you want to get down past. There we go. And what I want to do here on this side, like I did on the other side, if I put this here, then it will pull this out. More of a caricature. That being pulled out. Oops. Go like this. All right, let's take another chisel. And I'm going to try to clean it with this chisel and make it round at the same, give it kind of round at the same time. There we go, nice little wrinkle and wave going on. There we go. Okay. Now since the pants has been mostly done, hasn't back here, so I'll do a little bit. Like I said, I'll do that side later, and therefore make sure that after we put this in, okay, now the thing is around the pants area, again, after you smooth this all out, then I'm sure you want to do the bow tie, because that's the thing that is sticking out. And I did that when I did like just a blob and kind of like an X, and when this came out I wasn't too particular about it being realistic until some people did kind of call me on that, and so I had to figure out the realism. So let's say you cut right now you cut something out close to this. All right, I'll talk about that a little later. Just sort of, as long as you got the rum. You got the rum there, and what we're going to do is just a little bit of I want to put in a little bit of a behind here. Take some of this out. A little bit of a rump. Swing this around. Go this way there we go, that's better. Now, generally it's going to come up the rump like this, but since that's in the way, where is my Drake? Again, where is he? Oops, I screwed that up. We'll fix it. There we go. a little bit. Get in here. Some of the roundness off. Get crap out of there, because I did goof it and then I have to go fix it. There, fixed it. Okay, let's talk about that. Let's take an extra piece of wood here. Let's see if we can. Nice piece here. Let's get that corner off so I can handle it. That chip off so it don't come off of my glove. Now the purpose, like I said, this is more a realistic-ish. There's so little caricature is because is that this is all a little too wide for the caricature. So okay, here we go. Before we begin, let's get a slug of water here. And now the way that this knot is, let's bring this in here. And we want the knot to be here. And we want things to come down here. Let's think about this first. So what's going to happen is that, let's see, I gotta look at it this way, is that you're going to cut here, in here, is going to go into here, where this widens a bit. Come on. There you go, don't turn the camera off. This is going to be a little bit around this way. Around this way. This one here is more flat, but you still see a little bit of a V going on, and he's going to go inside here, on top of here. But he is going to go here beyond. So in other words, this one is above this. And this is just a simple tie knot. All right, so let's get my V. In fact, let me do a little bit of sharpening because it's been getting kind of chippy lately. And the thing is, especially when it comes to dry wood, drier wood is way much more difficult to V. So this will help just a bit on the V. Sorry, I'll just a couple of swipes. Okay, so this is coming in. This is coming in. This is coming in. This is coming in. These are, now remember, this is on top. So he's going to be on top. And then this bowl is going to be on top of both of them. And it's going to touch that. And this bow, a little bit around this, it's going to be up there. Whereas this one, I almost want to call that the Bert and Ernie tie. There's Bert. And Ernie was the little one. That's kind of interesting. I just thought about that right now. In here, remembering this is what goes in. And then here, and this is what goes in. And then we got the rest. And we want one of these, especially this one here, to be on top. And there we are. Take my V, take some of it. Now this, since this knot is supposed to be pulling in, so I got kind of, it depends on how you want this. Here, in this particular case, I haven't written that in yet, is that here's the shirt. And that shirt is going to do a little lapping. It's going to be pulling out, so it's going to, let me do that now. And the reason why I want this, I want it kind of lower than it should. I'll show you why. Because if we're going to have it so it kind of like, he's been in it for a while, and therefore, it's going down like this. And we may have to adjust the butactyl there a little bit. And the reason why I want this to bow down, let me get it. And we want to do, get out of there, do a nice undercut, and a nice undercut going in, is that the reason we want this bow down is because it is bowing beyond the belt. And by doing that, take a little flip like here. So it's really saggy. Oh, how far off am I? Just in case if I was too far down. Cut the belt, or cut the shirt, undercut, rather undercut now here, and then round this. And then bow it right here, because it gives the impression that is sagging down, and we don't have to worry about that. We don't have to worry about that, the belt. And you can put a belt in there if you want to. I don't know, did I put a belt in there? No, I didn't. In mine. Now there's cut. First a regular cut, just to separate. Undercut. I'll have to come back to redo the behind again. And then a nice sharp undercut. And there we go. We're going to, like I said, we're going to have to reshape the behind a little later here. It's going to have to be more shaping there. See if my drag will help a little bit here, just a little bit here. Okay, oh, I forgot to put the little bow here. The bowing up. A little bowing up here. Okay, so now the reason why I did all of that is because it depends on how you want to put your belt, your apron strings here. Is that if it's squeezing, I mean, it'll squeeze in instead of out, and I think that's what I did here. I am going to have to undo that here. Let's do that. Now with this one here, I want it to squeeze in. That's what I screwed up on this side. Get that V in there. I want it to screw, I want it in. There we go. Because he's squeezing that in there. So by the time, I want all this by the time we start doing that knot. So I want it to be inside. Now this is going to be goofed up here. I'll have to come back to this. Until it comes out. It makes its immersion past this point here. Now that's what I'm doing. I'm going to fix this by putting it in. So the question is it an innie or an outie? Since it's squeezing, or if it, you can still have it loose, it'd be still kind of as not as in. There we go. That's a little better. Okay, again, details and cleaning this. Let me take a swig before we continue on. So, what did we do here? A bit of a twist. So, it's really interesting. As they say, as you goof up, you have, especially if you cut the nose off, you still have, some say 8 more faces. I'd say maybe 1, 2 tops, but it's like what I had here is I goofed up on that. And it's good to show. I mean, I'm not the perfect carver. It's just that I like to carve. And sometimes, well, I goof up. And how you can still fix it and not throw it away. Okay, like I said, this is going to be on the inside. Not only this is on the inside, but the top bow, Ernie there, is going to be on top. And I don't get too much in detail, you know, like the bow is going to be right here. There's a little bit of bow here. And there's going to be a shirt. Not too much detail there. Let me put through this one quick. And this is going to be way on top. All right. Again, a little bit of bowing just because we're going to be cutting down here anyways. Same with here. All right, here we go. Now, I want to round this way because it's going to turn this way. And I'm going to round this way. Actually, I want it to stop here. Yeah, it's not going to go all the way down like like Bert there. Same with here. I seem to be, oops. And then this is going to be maybe in a little bit, the shirt. Okay, so now this one here, Ernie here, or Bert here, is going to go around this way. Like it's still going around. Same with this guy here, he's still going around, but he's going on the inside. Let's take the round it off. See, the roundness means that this here is more the height. So it's going to go down here. Going to go down there. Now, with the second one, Bert here, I'm going to start off with the lowest part. That'll help. And it's going to go down. And this is going to go inside here, and then it's still above the original belt part of it. I don't know if that's the best way to put it. Same here. this is going to go in, even though this is going to go way in. Okay, there you have it basically. And then you can bring this up quite a bit, and I'll show you after. That's just a tie, but I'll show you what I do. Same here. And I'll show you more on that. Because we are going to be careful. Now we're getting close to the butaka because the shirt, like I said, the shirt is going to be about here. I'll just put that in so you can keep an eye on it. A little bit of bolt. Okay, so with this one here now, I will show you more. Like you want to probably put some two-dimensionality. Three-dimensionality, I'm sorry, take two dimensions, make it into three, and that pops out more. Now, what you could do, like I said, I only give you as much wood to do it, something like this. If you want to do this on a block of wood, sometimes what I do, especially when it's in, let me show you, let me get that out of there first. Put that aside. And I lost my train of thought. What was I going to just say? Oh well. But that's basically it. This should be a little smaller. I think I got that a little too larger than it should be. But it's a simple realistic bow tie. It almost looks like a heart. There should be more into here. And go ahead and tie something. I mean, just like you would put around your waist. I mean, not a rope. I mean, you could probably do a rope pretending that it's the apron strings and it's behind your back. And it is somewhat loose. I want to make sure that this is higher. All right. And that's as far as that we're going to go with this. And it's a little more realistic. Now you can do another version. I think I did not squeeze. I needed to squeeze this. And squeeze. And again, I think the tie is just way too big. And when I get to it all, holy smokes, I'll probably get it smaller. I'll get some three-dimensionalities in there and some undercuts and so on and so forth. Anywho, this is going to be a little rounded. And again, when it comes to clean up and details and stuff. See, this one here I have more in. And this one I have more out. So there it is there.